Hi, everyone. I hope that you're doing well. And if you're not doing well, that's okay too. Just know that it's temporary. So today I'm going to be giving a reading with Jordan. What's your last name? Javaris?
Gavaris, close.
Yeah.
I've got like eight pronunciations of my last name. I think a lot of people say Gavaris, but my family says Gavaris.
Well, I'm sure your family says it right.
We don't know. My family is strange.
So what I do, just so you understand, so I'm clairvoyant, which means clear seeing in French. So I see things, and I'm just going to see what spirit has to tell you. Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
nervous.
Don't be. The first thing I feel is a lot of charming and compassionate energy from you. It seems like you're a really good charmer. Like you're really good at making other people feel good. It seems like people just like being around you because like in a way you are so kind of sensitive like I am. It's like you know what to say or like what to compliment. And there's a lot of compassion so you can like feel other people. So for instance, if someone is feeling unworthy, I feel like you're able to make someone feel worthy by just like a thing you say. And this could just be subconscious, but I just feel like you're really good socially. Would that make sense?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I also feel like very touchy as well. When I see hand holding, it just shows that someone that likes to have their hand held or their like physical touch, like hugs and stuff. Would that be you as well?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like your love language. I see that. Yeah, you're very
As
love.
I'm down here, I'm holding my hands right now. I'm like a little circle.
I know you're married, right? You're married, you said?
Yes.
It seems like this person's your teacher in many ways. This person
Yeah.
seems to have a cooler energy. You seem very warm. This person seems like colder. Grounding, like when you're if you feel anxious, this person calms you down. Like just this person brings like a breath of fresh air where you bring this person like warmth and affection. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I like it. It's like you're the fire, this person's the ice.
It's funny. He is a water sign. I don't know how
Mm.
much this links to astrology, but he's a Pisces.
Okay, I'm obsessed with astrology. He's a Pisces. What are you?
I'm a Libra.
You are a Libra. I saw scales for you. That's so fascinating.
That's
Okay.
wild.
Yeah, that's why you're so freaking charming and good. Okay, you're a Libra. My goodness. Yes, Libra is the sign of like diplomacy and charm and everything. Oh, you guys are a good match. That's a very daydreamy match. Like Libra and Pisces are both very daydreamy. Like let's run off into the sunset together and make all our dreams come true. So you guys
We
might.
talk all the time about like, running into the forest and building a cabin and not talking to anyone ever again.
Okay, so now I'm just gonna. I feel like there's like not wanting to travel. There's like an opportunity to travel, but not wanting to. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, what is it's like it seems like an opportunity or something, but it's like I don't want to, I feel scared or I don't know. But I feel like the people around you want you to do it, but you're a bit hesitant or something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, actually, this is funny because we've been talking about travel for a long time. Like we have the means and the opportunity, and my family loves to travel. My mom is constantly trying to organize trips to Europe, and it's lovely, but the hesitation is also just we spend so much time traveling for work that there's a wantingness to explore the world, but also I love being home because I'm never home. I never get to be home.
I'm picking up on something. I got travel twice for you, actually. So the first one,
Well, I am also traveling now. I'm not allowed to say why, but I am traveling somewhere kind of cool in January, and we're traveling. That's odd. We're traveling to Phoenix in about 10 days. We have to travel and we want to see our family because it's my husband's siblings. But, you know,
hmm,
we've been on planes a lot this year. And I think just given the recent election, going
right,
back to the United States isn't necessarily something that we want to do. That's very like of the moment, actually.
very fair. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, so I'll talk about so there's yeah, traveling's coming up often. So one of them is not wanting to travel, and I keep getting like trust. There's nothing to be scared of. So that must be the American thing. So like knowing that you're safe, and I feel like knowing that you're doing it for you. I don't want to say be selfish, but there's a sense of making sure you're putting you first. Then I also got like travel for work. I wrote acting because I know you're an actor, so I just assumed. Um, and that seemed like this seems like a huge opportunity for you, but it seems like the people you're going to meet or the place you're going to go seems more beneficial than the job itself. It seems like it's just like big opportunities. Does any of that make sense?
Yes, yeah. I wish I could expand on it, but that would involve me having to talk about what the thing is. And yes, that actually makes what you said about the job itself versus the place and the people is sort of shockingly, that's a bit shocking. I don't know how you know that, but that,
Oh, that's because I'm a psychic.
yeah.
Long story short, all the travel, big yeses, despite being scared, despite being fearful, hold your husband's hand. You'll
Okay.
be fine. I get that. So I don't know if this is spoiling another surprise. So children can come in many forms. It can even come in pets. So, but I just see like something like that, like either like new child or new pet. Is that in your field?
Mhm. That's
It,
so weird. That's so weird. Yes. Yeah. We've been discussing something for honestly, it's recent. It's very recent. Like the discussion turned serious only a couple of weeks ago.
I'm picking up on it, and it seems just fabulous. It just seems so freaking perfect. Perfect moment. I'm seeing 11. Okay. So either the 11th or something with the 11th or the 11th
Okay.
month. But anyway, so children is a big yes. But were you also thinking of getting a pet as well, or did you just get a new pet or
So it's not kids necessarily. It's a dog. It's we've just been talking really seriously about getting a dog literally in the last couple of weeks. Like I
okay.
think this is odd actually. The first conversation we had might have been November 11th.
Okay. So
Okay.
I love it. Yes, 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 yes. Great. I see you're so cute, like family pictures. Like I see it like so
Oh
like
no. Yes.
yeah, like very cheesy stuff. I like it. So I don't know your partner, but I see really nice eyes. He must have really nice eyes.
Beautiful eyes. Yeah. Like
Would
seafoam green, kind of blue. They're like a bluey greeny gray. They were the first things actually that I noticed on him when we got coffee for the first time. And I knew probably within about 10 minutes I was gonna be with him for the rest of my life.
actually, yes, I did feel like soulmates. I feel like past lives, right? So I believe we live multiple lives. I believe we are a soul that has a body. Okay. But the soul itself has no gender, no color, no race. It's just an energy. But the body has all those things. The body's male and white and tall and whatever. But like when we die, the soul does not. And yeah, I believe you and him, your souls lived a different life together on Earth, right?
Okay, so I don't know if you saw that film Past Lives. It was beautiful. It was like a lovely film. And I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation, but in Korea, there's this concept called annyeong, I think.
Okay.
And it's the idea that anyone you meet in life and present, you had this connection with. Maybe it was brief, maybe it was like really long. And then there's a couple of really special people that you just feel this tremendous connection to. And the idea that you've lived 10,000 lives with them and will live 10,000 more. Sort of universal bloodline that keeps us together cosmically. It finds each other.
Fabulous. That's exactly it. That's so beautiful. You're great. Even sometimes too with like soulmate connections and stuff like that, it can feel like a lot. Like, oh my goodness, like sometimes it's hard to relax in it. So we put a lot of pressure to like perform. So I just feel like the message is to just be like you're perfect the way you are. Just feel like I need to do my best in regards of being a partner, but it's like the feminine side. So it's something like being supportive or something like being receptive, any of that makes sense? It's very vague.
Yeah, there is, yes, I understand what you mean about the feminine side. Anytime your partner is going through something that you have no experience with and you can't relate to, but you know you have to show up and be the safety net and the sounding board and the soft place to land and make sure that you keep the home and the hearth warm and safe. If you're picking up on something, I don't immediately sort of connect it to the feminine, but I guess in terms of like that side of me or that energy in me, that would probably be the feminine energy.
Regardless, everything's fine. I just pulled a couple cards and I just wanted to show you because it's really fabulous. King of Wands. Okay, I'll just explain. And then King of Pentacles, and I can't wait to talk about it. I'm freaking out. And then Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so let me just explain this real quick. So King of Wands, King of Pentacles, like in the tarot deck, there's queens, there's like pages and everything, but it's just showing like two kings, right? So it's like you and your partner. It's just very special. And like there's a thing with like homosexuality. So it's like it was meant to be like man and man, like masculine and masculine. So that's why I feel like you're meant to be two men. There's something really beautiful about two men coming together and that being that. But the Ten of Pentacles is the card of um happily ever after. It's like one of the best cards in the deck. If ever you are going through something, I feel like just trust that you guys have happily ever after to come, that everything will be okay because yeah, the future that I'm sensing just seems kind of perfect.
Really lovely.
And I'm honest. Like I love to break people up. I love like actually not
Get out while you can.
perfect. Before I continue, do you have a question about anything? Something you want to talk about, or if not, I'll just keep going.
You know, this is kind of funny. My friends all joke that I'm a witch.
Hmm.
And I had someone tell me a long time ago that I had something called the Mystic Cross on my left hand, which I had no idea. I have no idea what that means. Sometimes my dreams come true. Sometimes my dreams are real. I don't know. Is that a thing? I don't know.
Witch. I don't know if I call you. I'm a witch. So a witch is someone who does like witchcraft. So I do that, like spells and candles and herbs and stuff. That's what witchcraft is, and that's what I would label a witch. So if you did that, oh, you kind of do. Like baking could be a sign of witchcraft.
Yeah, I was just about to say, my herb plants over there I was joking with my husband because someone made a joke about me being a witch. And then I was like, oh, I had a bunch of these pie pumpkins around the house for harvest decoration. And then I made a big soup with them. And I was like, I guess that's kind of like transmutation. I just took a pumpkin and I turned it into something else that we could eat. And he was like, that is transmutation. And I was like, weird. Yeah, I guess witchcraft is not Buffy-esque as I would maybe love it to be. And I don't know why, but I also am kind of convinced that my mom is a witch. She's really unique, actually. She's a very rooted person, like earthy comes to mind.
Yes, baking can be witchcraft, like in the best way possible. You make a pie with like love and, healing energies, and you feed it to your loved ones, and then they feel the love. Like it's really is like creating something and then having other people, that's witchcraft. You are very sensitive. You are a very sensitive soul. You are. I feel like you've always been since a child.
Hmm.
It seems you are, yeah, dreams. Yeah, it's definitely dreams. Like my sister. So my sister dreams a lot, just like you, and it's like she'll dream of something and then it comes true. Or she'll have a visitation from a past loved one in her dreams, and that is the other side. That is like the connection. Very normal. And yeah, I would definitely say you're gifted. I think that's why you're here, and I think that's why we're talking. Your mom seems a bit not harsh, but seems a bit more like, I don't know, to the point, perhaps.
Oh, extremely. Oh my God, yes. She's very warm, but she's exceptionally practical
I sense she's much more gifted than she kind of expresses,
because
right?
it's not practical
Yeah.
and
But
it doesn't make sense.
I think you guys are also soulmates between you and mom. It seems like also very past lifey, but it seems more like equal in a past life. So you guys could have been like brother and sister or like siblings or something like that. Because there's something very like,
Sorry. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's very sweet, like helping each other. Well, okay. I'll just this will be more future stuff, but like January seems like to be a big month for you.
Hmm.
Also, I know it's far away, but 2028, I know it's so far, but there's something about that being like, I see you moving, if I'm honest. Like, where do you live right now? Canada?
So yeah, we moved to Toronto. We love our space. I guess 2028 would be 5 years. And we did make a joke. We were like, oh, we might move in 2020, like we might move 5 years. We tend to move 5 years after we move in somewhere.
And it seems like out of country, if I'm honest. Like, I don't think it's Canada or even America.
Oh.
But if that's up to you, I just see it. Also, I just see a really big opportunity for your partner, right? I see something, I don't know what it is, but I don't know what he does for, oh, is he an actor as well?
And he's also a screenwriter. And there's
Okay.
been a lot, there's been a lot percolating.
Yeah, I sense patience with that. Don't get discouraged because I feel like it's like with each, it's like we go fishing and we don't catch a fish and we don't catch a fish. So the next thing you know, you catch a freaking shark. Like I just see like something like that. Like, oh my God, it's happening. Oh my goodness, this is just great news. It just feels like I won the lottery kind of deal. So whatever project he's working on,
Yeah.
I sense a lot of male energy, to be honest.
Hmm.
Great. Oh, that's just good news. You have a lot of good stuff. You have a lot of good stuff. I like it.
Oh, thank God.
There's a grandmother on the other side who's around you quite a lot. And it's weird because she calls you a different name. And I didn't know what that meant. So it could have been a nickname of some sort.
But yeah, I would guess it's probably my mom's mom.
Okay, would she say a different name? Would she call you a different?
Pumpkin. or
Oh,
pumpkin.
also kind of mystical and feeling. I like it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A total beautiful soul. So she's around you. If ever you think of her or whatever, she's around your mom quite a lot. There could have been healing. So I'm just being honest. There could have been healing between her and your mom or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. She says something like her wisdom wasn't shown as well. So I don't know if the way she had like brain or there was something that prevented her to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. She actually had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, but the chemotherapy really degraded her sort of mental ability. She developed dementia very quickly, and so I didn't really know her.
Oh,
I don't know if she knew, but I remember her telling me a story when I was much younger about her best friend Norman, who she called Normie, who was gay. I was so young to know this, but I remember it now, and I'm like, I think you were trying to tell me that that would be fine with you. Like you would not blink. It was completely fine. You just loved a person. And I wished I could have known her. I wish she could have known me.
so now the energy, like there's no more illness on the other side. There's no more ego. There's no more body. So it's just her spirit. For some reason, I just get like majesty kind of vibes. Like,
We would always call her the Duchess. We joke she'd have made a great Duchess in another life.
there you go. Another thing, just real quick, a couple more words are coming up. I got a clock, so I just got to figure this out. Like, let's say you're like baking, okay, and it's like time just slips away. It's like time doesn't exist anymore. It's like 3 hours could have gone by or 10 minutes. I don't know. It's like that time, that energy, it's like time doesn't exist anymore, right? Whereas like to-do lists and schedules and catching the bus, that's very linear. That's very like the time. There's no time on the other side. That's why like your grandma, she's in the future, in the past, and the present. Like there's no time on the other side. Your team wants you to express more time in the timeless, whatever that means. Usually it's creative. So like baking or whatever. Does that make sense? I see a lot of rainbows.
I've struggled with this my whole life.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I've struggled to believe I'm an artist. Like I know that sounds really strange because I do this for a living. I act and I bake and I do lots of things, but I for some reason I look at my partner, I see friends in the business. I feel like artists dress a certain way and they project a certain image into the world and they move through the world in quirky and interesting ways, and I'm just kind of basic and conventional. And I think I stop myself from living in the timeless often and expressing myself maybe as much as I could because I'm just so worried about what that expression is going to be or that someone's going to come along and be like, you think that's a pie? Like, that's not a pie. Or like, your acting is just kind of, you're just kind of like a schmactery TV actor.
You silly boy. So everything you just said was great. I feel like that is healing. I feel like it's like, let's say everything you just said, I want to put in a box in front of you. And then your grandma kind of just takes the box away until like kind of gets rid of those thoughts forever and ever. You're perfect. Okay. So you're perfect the way you are. It's perfection. So that's could be a mantra. I'm perfect because you are you're perfectly you. I see you, maybe you got this from your mom. I actually see something very orderly about you as well. Like, oh, I'm hearing good boy. Like I want to be like I'm doing things properly.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
perfect. Interesting. You're
Yeah.
right. Everyone else sees you as perfect and everyone else sees you as loving and like admires you, but you don't. I think that's so funny. Why would jewelry be important? Either like I like jewelry or I don't, or I'm getting new jewelry, or what is this?
I never saw myself as a person that wore jewelry. Like I always kind of had this idea that I didn't like it and I was like, I'm gonna get a wedding ring that, barely registers. Like it's so, and then I started kind of wearing a chain and I don't know, I actually find myself quite drawn to jewelry. And I think that I always had, but I think I convinced myself like, I don't know, that's too feminine or that's too gay or that's too something.
Perfect. Look at that. Look at you healing. Yes, wear your damn jewelry. But your style, what I'm seeing, it is very simple.
Yeah.
Basic, let's call it. But in the most beautiful way.
My Nana also loved jewelry, like loved jewelry. She wore all of the jewelry. There was not a piece of jewelry that she did not wear. If that's at all coming from her, that's a funny thing to hear because she would tell me to wear the jewelry.
And maybe with time you'll be like, I don't like wearing jewelry, and that's okay. Right? So there's like exploring. Like it's not set in stone. I also saw a mop, which is very strange. So you
I really like to clean.
Wow. All right. Okay, cute. And then the other thing I saw, but I'm not too sure on this one. This one's usually a hit or miss, but lasagna, but it could also just be something like cheesy or something with layers.
That's so funny. I mean, this is so weird, but yeah, my husband's favorite food is my mother's lasagna, and I've been talking endlessly over the last year about how I've got to like actually just buckle down and make it. That's very specific, but it is this kind of recurring thing where anytime we go over to their house, he's like, I hope she's making lasagna.
Make the damn lasagna. Also, I see something weird with your oven. So is it like you put it like you have to like put a few it's like a few degrees hotter or a few degrees lower, or it's like instead of
Mm.
450, like 455 or something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's funny actually. Anytime I see a recipe that has like bake your cookies at 350, I always just, no matter where I am, always do 355. It's like a superstitious thing.
That's insane that I literally just said that. I said
Very
50. Oh, I love being a psychic. That's so fun. I also felt cat around you. I know you say you want a dog, but is there a cat around you? Like, does someone have a cat?
cat actually yesterday that crossed our path as we were going to the gym. He was really cute. His name is Bruce.
That would be it. If it was yesterday, then that was it. That's a really good.
Okay.
Do you like Disney movies?
I I mean not really.
I saw specifically Alice in Wonderland, so I don't know if that. Let me
Oh,
figure that
he's obsessed with Alice in Wonderland.
out. There we go.
This is where I think like Dev has taught me so much more about art and about when you said like that he was kind of a teacher,
Hmm.
he is in that he because I can be so rigid and I think I'm very afraid to explore things because I'm worried about what that exploration looks like. He doesn't have any of that. He's a person that just kind of dives creatively into one end of the pool or another, and I really admire it. And he's weird. Like he embraces his weird. And I think that I closed those parts off of me as I got older because I thought they were unbecoming or might be judged. And I think he's enabled me to embrace some of the darker, weirder stuff that I really like. And Alice in Wonderland is a huge touchstone for him as a storyteller and just in general, because it's so off kilter and so strange.
So for instance, like growing up, like yeah, I was always very feminine, and like it was taught that it was bad. So like I like the color pink and purple, and I was taught that that was bad. That was weird, and like so it could really mess me up. Like thinking, because then I felt like there's something wrong with me because like I like pink, therefore it's bad, and therefore something's wrong with me, right?
Yeah,
But it took me some time to do the things I like and love myself, like grow out my hair because I wanted long hair and wear makeup and do, because it's me. It's like my soul expressing itself, right? I was thinking of this yesterday. I'm like, why am I thinking of this? Like this, it's because of you. So there's something very similar of like loving yourself and being exactly that. Ooh, you have a lot of armor. So I just saw a knight. So that just means someone who's very protective of themselves. Oh, yeah, I do feel a lot of armor. I'm seeing it dissolving. I'm seeing it like the armor coming off and you coming forward. Just to say that.
I really like that idea.
I wrote down silly boy. That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the last thing is yeah, working out a lot, or it's weird. It's like or working out too much. I push my body too much or something like
Hmm.
that. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I want to say I feel shaky or lightheaded. It feels like I do it so much that it's like it like disrupts myself.
Yeah, I was going through a little bit of a phase where I think that was something to do. It was just like an area to control. Yeah, I was not sleeping. I was anxious all the time. I was drinking way too much coffee. And I was still pushing myself like 2 hours at it was kind of nuts. And I'd convinced myself that was sort of a way for me to like, yeah, I'm being structured. I'm being like a good boy. I'm organizing my life because like I don't have anything else to organize, so I'm going to organize this. And then I got really sick.
Okay,
And
great. So lesson learned.
yeah,
I want to say like so that's the masculine side of you, right? Like let me work and do this and work out and get this and da also on the feminine, I felt a similar energy of like, I gotta do this and I gotta do this. It could be a fun little game. Be like, am I doing this out of love for myself or am I doing this out of pressure to succeed? Make sense?
yeah, actually recently like re-engaged with my therapist probably about 6 months ago and I really love therapy and I'm very open about it. I'm just a real proponent of it. And I just spend a lot of time trying to do things for other people and meet these sort of pretend expectations that people maybe have of me. And I'm so out of practice at just doing things from myself because I would work in my spare time and I build furniture and or baking something or I like or writing. So I don't know. if I can actually lose myself in that, it is the nicest feeling. It is
Okay.
lovely.
So my last card for you, and this is kind of what I was feeling. So I pulled the card Taurus. And this is kind of what I was feeling. So I'm a Gemini because I was born in May, but I have a lot of Taurus energy in me because a lot of the planets were in Taurus when I was born. Okay. So Taurus is Venusian, likes to lay, it likes to sit, likes to eat, sleep, paint their nails. Like it's very feminine in the leisure way, and I'm very leisurely. And I used to, and there's pros and cons to that, but that's what I mean. Like people could like work out and do all these things, and I just couldn't. I'm like, I need a nap. I need to sit. I need to relax. And that's why this is the card I pulled for you. So you need to learn from Taurus, okay? So you can like learn a bit about Taurus, but Taurus is very relaxed. Taurus is practical, so it's steady. It gets things done, but it's at their own pace, their own time. Taurus is all about making sure my needs are met. So am I hydrated? Did I eat? Did I get full 8 hours of sleep? Is my skincare done? Are my nails done? It's very feminine. It's very simple, right? So it's not into like, where do we come from or the world? Taurus is like very simple, really connected to food and nature. So like gardens, art, like everything like that. So you might even have Taurus in you too. Anyway, so that's my advice for you is to be more Taurusy. Make sense? For this
I
next.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think my work is and my art gets better when I'm exercising that part of myself, when I'm trying to relax a little.
Yeah, that's where it comes from.
That makes a lot of sense.
There you go. Any other questions for me? Anything else before?
Probably like a million. It's maybe silly. Do you ever see pets people had, or like do they ever come through? Only because we had a family dog, and like I'm probably gonna get emotional even talking about it. She was so special, like
Mhm.
just the coolest dog, and I love her so much. I still love her. I think about her all the time. Uh, and I just really have always, I cannot believe I'm crying right now. I'm so sorry. I
You're
just
like,
really want her to know that like I saw her as a person. I just think about her all the time.
so during the work I've done, I came to realize that the worst sadness I sense, and I'm being honest, is when people lose a child. Obviously, that's a tough one, or when they lose a pet. I swear to God, this is when people grieve the hardest. It's just so true that a pet, a dog too, specifically, dogs are healers. They love us unconditionally. They can be soulmates as well. So people might be like, oh, it's just a dog, get over it. Doing the work I do, I know that that's not the case, that it can be even harder than losing a person. So first of all, I want to say she knows. She knows she was loved. She knows that you love her. She knows that you miss her. I get the sense she's treated like a princess or like a queen as well. I guess she died of old age. Would that make sense?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was almost 15, and it just reached a point where like health things were happening when Daisy reached the end.
I got Lily. The name I heard was Lily, and I was just about to ask. I swear to God, if it was a flower
So
name.
weird. It
And
was a
you-
flower name.
I was
Yeah.
just about to ask. I swear to God, I wish I did, but I was getting a flower name, Daisy. Okay. Was she decorated? Like, did we put like bandeaus on her or pretty collars or?
No, but the funny thing was she wore a lot of coats because she had bad allergies that would sort of make the hair on her sides get thin. She was a
Mm,
schnauzer, and we'd
mm,
have to wrap her up in coats, and she hated it.
Jingle bell, something at Christmas. Just would that
Oh
make
my
sense?
God. Did
Yeah.
you? Yeah. What? This
What is it?
is so weird. Yes, there's a jingle. There's a jingle bell call.
Oh,
And she hated it. She hated
yeah,
this thing so much. It was an elastic jingle bell collar that we
yeah.
would put on. When you said jingle bell, I forgot about that. And we would put it on her. And she hated this thing so much. It made her, I'm sure, feel like a clown. And she was very funny about hating it.
I don't know if she liked her own space. Like she kind of was just,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes,
She
she
still
did.
loved that. Like her energy is still like that. So like you're here, she might be across the room, almost like a
Right.
gargoyle, like protecting you. Yeah, she's always like around. I get like there's something I still have of her that still smells like her, or something that's still of her. I don't know if it's in your house or something, but it's like I
It's in my mom and dad's house. We have, it's just a bag of her toys and things like collars. And we're just like, I'm so sorry. I do not know why I keep getting emotional. We just could not, yeah, we couldn't bring ourselves to give them away, or yeah.
With
Yeah.
time, you will. Like if she was a person, she'd be like, I'm dead. Like
Yeah, I know.
something kind of strict about her. But
Very
yeah,
German. Schnauzer.
yeah. She knows she was loved, abundantly loved. Um, and she is funny, kind of a little bitch, but I love her anyways.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, she was. And I really liked it. I liked that about her. She was so sharp and funny and stubborn. Like she was just really cool.
Anyways, this was so much fun. I feel like we could talk for hours and hours and
I
hours and hours.
know. I was thinking the same thing. This was lovely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're so generous with your time, and that's just really lovely. And your gift. It was really nice of you to do this.
Thank you for being here with me. It means a lot too. And I am amazing. You are right.